So people who are mature will make decisions based on what they want long term. People who are immature will tend to make decisions based on what's convenient at the moment. The difference between maturity and immaturity is immature people will quit, or their real character will be seen when times are tough. Maturity has nothing to do with age. Maturity has nothing to do with your wealth. Maturity has nothing to do with your possessions. Maturity has nothing to do with your status. Welcome to T&G Experience with me, Nitesh Gyanchandani. I'm a mindset coach, and if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can click the link down below if you're listening to this from YouTube, or if you're listening to this from any podcast platform, then you can click the link in the episode description and you can book a 30 minutes call with me and see how we can work together. All right, so today I'd like to brainstorm with you, discuss with you about maturity. Have you ever seen anyone who may be elder to you? You know, maybe they have more possessions than you. They have more status than you. Yet they seem to not have their shit together. You know, they're easily triggered. They seem to be having a lot of escapism tendency, like they drink, maybe they're on drugs, or they just play around. Yet you meet people who may be younger than you, but they have a more long-term thinking. You know, they have a more healthy habits. They see the world differently. Now, at this point of time, I myself personally have believed that age, possession, status, wealth has nothing at all to do with maturity. But yet, I notice that people who are mature, you can feel it, right? You can feel someone who is mature, someone who sees the world differently. Yet, maturity has a lot to do with someone's success and happiness. So what exactly is maturity? How can you cultivate it? And how will it benefit your life? Let's discuss it. So in my opinion, and I think you will agree with this as well, that maturity is equals to emotional intelligence. What does that mean? Someone who is mature is someone who makes decisions, someone who takes actions based on their state versus their emotions. Someone who is mature. Now, there are two paths to life, right? There are two paths to the actions that you take, to the decisions that you make, to the life that you create. Path number one is intentional. Path number two is unintentional. Now, let's look at life as, as a house that you want to build, right? You start with the foundations and then you lay the bricks. Eventually, the house is built. The house is the life that we are living in. The bricks is the habits and the actions that we take, the decisions that we make. And the foundations of the house is the beliefs that we have towards life. We can either build the house intentionally, like we know what we want and we create it, or we can build the house unintentionally and just like, all right, whatever is good, we'll just do it. I don't think so any architect would build a house and say, you know what, let's just create whatever we can, No, they go to create a house, to build a house by, this is what we want, this is what we need to do, this is the kind of foundations that we need to build, this is the bricks that we need, this is the stuffs that we need, and this is the house that we want to create. Let's go back to maturity. There are two paths to life, intentional and unintentional. You will notice that people let's talk about unintentional first. You will notice that people who are immature tend to make decisions based on their emotions. People who are immature tend to make decisions based on what's convenient at the moment. People who are mature will make decisions based on what they want in the long term. They know what they want, they know what they need to do, and they know how to deal with situations. So people who are mature will make decisions based on what they want long term. People who are immature will tend to make decisions based on what's convenient at the moment. You can already see that. Now, if things are going well in your life, it is easy. It is really easy to want to, make the actions that you want for your long term. Everybody somewhat has an idea of what they want to do with their life, right? But when it comes to taking the daily actions and responding to circumstances when things doesn't go our way, that's the challenging part. That's what differentiates between people who are mature and people who are immature. Let's take an example. People who are immature will make decisions based on what's convenient at the moment. For example, you're building a business. Okay? When things are going well, you will take the actions necessary required to build the business. For example, you will do the cold calls that's necessary, or write the emails, or build the page, whatever that's necessary when things are easy. But what differentiates mature and immature people is, what do you do when things doesn't go your way? What do you do when you're hit with circumstances or hit with pressure? Under pressure is when you can see whether someone is mature or immature. For example, suddenly the computer crashes in the office, right? And you can't work. Immature people will quit. Or when you get rejected when you're trying to sell something, immature people will quit. But people who are mature, people who know what they want long term, will see this as a setback and will figure out a way around it. Because they know what they want. Another example, in relationships, two people coming together saying that we want to build a long-term life together. People who are mature knows what to do every day, build the habits, right? Maybe you say, I love you to that person every day, or, you don't forget the important dates, right? And, both parties will do that, but then difficult time comes. For example, one of the couple lost their job, or something just happened, The difference between maturity and immaturity is, immature people will quit, or their real character will be seen when times are tough. That is how you differentiate between mature and immature people. Mature people knows what they want long term, and they know the kind of habits that they need to build daily. And the most important is, mature people know how to handle circumstances when things doesn't go their way. They know that when things doesn't go their way, this is a setback. This doesn't mean failure. But people who are immature sees the setback and they will quit, because they do not see their long-term vision, right? And they will just take an action based on what's convenient at the moment. It's convenient to quit. That's why not a lot of people are successful in terms of their marriage. You'll see a lot of divorces these days. Not a lot of people are happy in terms of their career. And you will notice that a lot of people who have matured way of thinking, they make less decisions, but they make better decisions. And they tend to be happier, they tend to be healthier, they tend to be more successful. That is because they know what they want, they built the right habits, and they know how to handle circumstances when things get tough. So, maturity has nothing to do with age. Maturity has nothing to do with your wealth. Maturity has nothing to do with your possessions. Maturity has nothing to do with your status. But maturity has everything to do with your emotional intelligence, which means you know what you want, you set the right habits, you do the right things, and your emotional intelligence will be tested when things doesn't go your way. It's like building a house, right? When you build a house, you have the right foundations, which is your belief systems. You have the right goal. This is the house that I want. You build the things that is needed, and then the house is built. Are you someone with a high emotional intelligence? How do you deal with pressure in your life? Because if you know how to deal with pressure, you're a mature person. And you're doing better than, I would say, 90% of the world's population. That's it for today. I hope this video is inspiring for you. I hope it provides clarity for you. I hope it provides benefit for you. Don't forget to share this video to as many people that you know will need it. And don't forget to hit the like button. It will really greatly help this channel. Hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening to this from any podcast platform, don't forget to hit the like and save this episode so you can listen to it again whenever it is that you need. I'll see you in the next episode of TNG Experience.